Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Anne and today I'm going to give you my July TBR. It's so funny to me that just a few months ago I wrote a blog post about how I don't set TBRs and how I'm a mood reader and I don't do well with TBRs, and this is now my second TBR video and I've been doing TBRs for a couple of months in a row now. Because it turns out I am a TBR person. I like TBRs, I like the anticipation, and I think it's actually a lot of fun. Turns out things can change pretty quickly, it seems. I anticipate July is going to be a fun reading month, not only because I've got a couple of books on here that I'm actually really excited about reading, but also because July is the month of the Reading Rush. The Reading Rush is a readathon that runs from the 22nd to the 28th of July, so it's a week long. And it used to be the Booktubeathon, but this is the first year it's going by the name of the Reading Rush. And I think it might just be the biggest readathon there is on the internet. And this year they have a website you can sign up to and you can make a profile on. You can chat on the forum and you can earn badges, which is an aspect I really like because I like earning badges. And you can earn badges by participating in the challenges, because there are 7 reading challenges for the Reading Rush, to add that extra bit of challenge, I guess, to a readathon. Coincidentally, the 22nd until the 28th is also the week that my boyfriend is out of town on holiday, so I'll have a ton of time to read. So I have set quite an ambitious TBR for myself for the Reading Rush, but I think it might just be doable. Anyway, let's get into the books I'll be reading in July, and let's first start with the 3 books I've picked for the weeks leading up to the Reading Rush. The first book on my TBR is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I've actually talked about this in a couple of other videos already. Aurora Rising is the first book in the new sci-fi series by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, who also wrote the Illuminae files, which is a trilogy I really love. It came out in May and it has been on my shelves, seducing me to read it since then, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Even though I'm really excited to read it, I don't really know that much of what it's about, so it's going to be a bit of a surprise. But I anticipate I will like it, although I have seen some mixed reviews about this, so we'll see. Next up on my TBR we have The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien, which is of course the second book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm reading the Lord of the Rings trilogy for the first time this year, and I read The Fellowship of the Ring in May, I believe, and I actually made a video about that. I compared the book to the film and I gave you my full review, so if you want to see that video, you can click on the link up there. So yeah, I plan on reading The Two Towers this month, but I anticipate I might be getting a little bit bored with it along the way, because that was the case with The Fellowship of the Ring, because even though I love the world and the concept and everything, I don't think the writing style holds up anymore these days. I don't think it's very suspenseful, so I don't think I'll be able to read more than 1 or 2 chapters at a time. And that's why I also plan on reading this one at the same time. This is On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden, and this is a graphic novel, a pretty big graphic novel, that's, I think, about a girl who journeys to the ends of the universe in search of a long-lost love. I picked this up on a whim, and I don't know anything about it other than what I just told you, and the fact that it used to be a webcomic, and that it looks really pretty. Yeah. But I think it will be a good idea to read this one alongside The Two Towers, so I can change it up and alternate between the two in case I get bored with The Two Towers, and I think that will help me to keep things fun for myself. Now let's move on to my TBR for the Reading Rush. Funnily enough, there are more books on my TBR for the Reading Rush, which is only 1 week, than there are on my TBR for the 3 weeks leading up to the Reading Rush. But I have to say the books on my Reading Rush TBR are quite a lot shorter than the ones I've just mentioned. I've picked 4 books and I've also managed to pick books that will fulfill the 7 reading challenges set by the hosts of the Reading Rush. I'm not sure if I'll be able to read all of them, but I'm going to give it my best try. First up on my Reading Rush TBR is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I've never actually read any of Neil Gaiman's novels. I've read the first volume of The Sandman, which is his comic/graphic novel series. And I like that, but of course that's very different from reading a novel by someone. I picked this up when it was on sale on Book Depository, and I figured I wanted to read something by Neil Gaiman, and this seemed like a good place to start. I don't actually know that much of what it's about, so I guess I'll just read the back to you. At the dawn of the Victorian era, life moves at a leisurely pace in the tiny town of Wall. Young Tristram Thorne has lost his heart to the beautiful Victoria Forrester, but Victoria is as cold and distant as the star she and Tristram see fall from the sky one evening. For the price of Victoria's hand, Tristram vows to retrieve this star for his beloved. That's basically the premise, and I guess things happen along the way. It's also less than 200 pages, which makes it perfect for a readathon. If all goes to plan, I'll be able to fulfill 3 of the 7 challenges with this book. The first one being read a book with purple on the cover. Well, that obviously works. The second one is read a book in the same spot the entire time. So I guess I'll just get comfortable on my sofa and read this book there. And the third one is read a book to movie adaptation and watch the movie too. Apparently this has been adapted into a film. I didn't know that, but I looked it up. And it has some pretty big names in the cast, so I'm actually pretty excited to watch it. And I think it'll be fun to read the book and then watch the film straight after and compare the two. The second book on my list is The Sense of an Ending by Julian Barnes, which is another pretty thin book because it's only 150 pages, I think. This book won the Man Booker Prize in 2011, and I've been meaning to read it for quite some time now. I've had it on my shelves for a while, because I've heard really good things about it and about Julian Barnes in general, and I've never read any of his books. I've heard this one is intense and compelling, and I don't know that much about it except that it's about a middle-aged man named Tony Webster and his past catches up with him. That sounds intriguing, so I'm all for it. This book will be fulfilling 2 challenges. The first one is read a book you meant to read last year. This definitely fits. And the other one is read a book with 5 or more words in the title, so this is 5 words, so that fits as well. Book number 3 for the reading rush is the Travelling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. And this book is about a cat named Nana who goes on a road trip with his owner. That's basically all I know. I picked this up on a whim in a bookshop in Amsterdam at some point a few years ago, and I haven't read it yet, but I've heard both good things and bad things, so I'm looking forward to making up my own mind about it. And I chose this one for the readathon because one of the challenges is read a book with a non-human main character, and a cat certainly fits that prompt. The last book on my TBR for the reading rush is what makes this TBR quite a challenging one, and that's because the book is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is a young adult fantasy book. I think most of you will know because it's been around for a while and a lot of people have been talking about it recently because it's being adapted to a series on Netflix. This one's over 400 pages, so it's going to be quite challenging to read the entire thing after already reading the other 3 in 1 week. But I've been meaning to pick up this first book of the Shadow and Bone trilogy all year, so this seems like a fun moment to actually do so. Even if I won't finish it that week, I'll finish it in the days after and I'll still have read it, and that's the goal after all. I anticipate I will like it because I've read the Six of Crows duology and I loved that, but I have heard some mixed things about this trilogy. A lot of people say it's not as good as the Six of Crows, and it's very noticeable that this is her first series, but other people love it a lot. So again, it'll be fun to make up my own mind about this one, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I'm now at the end of the video and I've just realized I haven't picked any audiobooks out for July yet, and I don't feel like doing so I'll just pick up whatever I feel like at the moment. So I guess there's still a little bit of a mood reader left in me. Anyway, those are the books I have on my TBR for July. Please let me know what you're planning on reading in July and if you're participating in the reading rush as well. If you are, please add me as a friend on there. I'd love to chat about the books we're reading. I'm BookBakeBlog there, just like my Twitter handle. I'm pretty excited about the readathon, and I'm also planning on doing my first reading vlog that week, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it, or even subscribe if you want to see more of me. Have a wonderful day. Bye!